Hi, it's Andy.
Hi, it's Dave.
Hi, it's Kirk.
Welcome to the A.D.K Rock and Metal channel. And today we're checking out a band called Bloodstained Child. And the song is called Last Stardust. Weird fucking song name that is. But Bloodstained Child, yeah.
Good name for a band, though.
Not a bad band name. That's interesting enough to make you want to check it out, I reckon. But yeah, let's go check it out. Okay. Okay. Not sure what just happened there, right? Andy, over to you.
It's another one with a lot going on, a lot to talk about, isn't there?
Yeah.
Started off with, well, my heart sunk with the sort of pop intro, and then it went sort of traditional power metal. And overall, you're looking back and thinking, well, it's kind of that, I assume, Japanese weird mix of so many different influences and so many different styles, because there was a lot going on in there. I didn't like the lead vocalist, to be honest, but and I hope not misgendering this person, but I think it's a guy on bass. I mean, his vocals were fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, put him in a death metal side project, and I'd be all over it. I thought he was great. And then you've got like the guitarist, which is who's dressed as like traditional sort of Japanese schoolgirl. So overall, I thought there's too much going on. Not really my sort of thing. There were some positives. Surprisingly, the solos, is that sort of dual guitar solo going on there. I quite like that because they were short and snappy and really did complement the song. Not really much else to say sort of in the positive note, but just to reiterate the vocals from the guitar and bass were really, really good. Not something I'm ever going to listen to again, but I can see why they appeal to their sort of home market and possibly further afield. It's a good example of that sort of genre. I don't know what you'd call that, but it's a weird mix of very many different styles. But I'm sure they're a very popular and successful band. Just not for me.
So you know what? So on YouTube, you have this functionality when you're watching a video where you can go to the cog and you can change the tempo of the video. And this straight away to me is one of those ones where if there was an option to take it down by 10%, I would instantly do it. Because this is a video that sounds like they've played it 10% too fast. It just feels that they're on the edge of about to lose control. And one thing I've noticed now, drummers are a pain in the arse for this, and I'm allowed to say that because I'm a drummer. So when there's lots going on and there's a lot of fast notes going on, there's a lot of vocal melodies and there's a lot of keyboard parts, drummers, you need to leave room. You do not need to sit there and put double kicks with tom fills on, because guess what? You're just filling even more space, and there is no space for you, which what it means is it just sounds muddled and it sounds fucking awful. And that's what kept happening. Every time you got to the end of a 4-bar run, they were like, and then the drums go and hitting cymbals. He's hitting extra cymbal hits, and I'm like, just chill, mate. You're meant to be holding the backbone, not sitting there trying to do a fucking drum solo during the song. Chill the fuck out, mate. It's easier.
Another phrase for the t-shirt.
Chill, man. Chill.
Chill the fuck out.
But it's one of those things that just bugs me a little bit about drummers who like to try and, because they think it's technical and it's really complex. Fine if you're doing a slower song, or if the guitarist is doing a big open chord, then you have the chance to actually do your bit to show off and do that fill, because then you're coming to the front. But what we had here was every single person in the band was trying to play something and be the lead at the same time at every single 4-bar change, and I was like, it's getting very messy, it's really muddled, and this is on a recording. I'd hate to hear what this sounded like live, with them all trying to play it live when they're not if they're slightly off, that's going to sound bloody awful. So I think if they'd slowed this down, this track as a whole would have sounded better. I liked the female vocals. I thought it was good to have that counter melody to the bloke. I thought his vocals were great. It did feel like with the female guitarist, she had no expression. So I was like, it almost felt like she had just been drafted in for that video. Like she didn't know the rest of the guys in the band, and she didn't get the memo about what to wear. She was like, oh, we've got a video shoot. And she was like, okay, what band made? Awesome. Yeah, okay, get dressed. Turned up and went, dude, you didn't tell me you're all wearing jeans and t-shirts. What the fuck? She's like, shit, now I'm in a mood. And she got in a real fussy mood, and she's like, fuck it, I'm not going to show any emotion now for this video because you didn't tell me what to fucking wear, so fuck you. And so she just did it. But her solo playing, absolutely amazing. And even the other guy who was playing on the PRS, his solo was great as well. So there was an effect of, there was obviously a guy doing DJ sampling, which I'm guessing is the piano keyboard parts that were going on. I didn't see anyone actually playing the keyboard, but I did see this guy doing a fade up and a fade down thing. I don't know, maybe he was playing, I don't know, DJ on the PlayStation thing where you can fuck around and play it. I don't know what he was doing. But that didn't really add any massive amount of value to me, so I think they overcomplicate the song. But it's quite nice to see a Japanese band not trying to be too different, where we've seen a lot of massive mixes with like bringing lots of pop crossover sort of stuff and crossover genres and stuff like that. I thought this one they tried to make it a bit clear, tried to give you a bit of melody, but also kind of went in a bit more of a speed metal, thrashy power pop in a bit of that in there as well. So I quite enjoyed the track. Just you wouldn't guess it from my feedback, but I actually did quite enjoy the track. Kirk, your thoughts on it?
Andy, can I just start with a question? What's a traditional Japanese schoolgirl?
Well, like Dave said, she didn't get the memo about rockwear. Well, we've covered it before, you know.
I know, it's just funny.
Bandmate, isn't it? You know, it's,
Yeah.
just
Made outfits, or yeah,
it's a scene, isn't it? That kind of look and
visual key.
whatever Dave just said. Yeah.
The traditional just cracked me up that. So this band, I've just looked. So this song's from 2014. They call the music melodic death metal. Apart from the vocals, there's no death metal in that. Instead, what you've got is they're attempting an arena rock production and using the power and thrill of metalcore, aren't they? And when I say metalcore, I mean the type of metalcore that we really don't like. The stuff that's overproduced. Sometimes most of the time you can't hear the guitars in the mix, but at the same time, there is a real excitement there, isn't there? They take the adrenaline level so high, you just couldn't listen to a whole album of it because you know that nothing can keep your excitement levels at this level for 30 minutes. So what ends up happening is, after a while, ironically, you actually start to switch off. You've got this high intensity upbeat music that's really uplifting with lots of aggression and competing ideas in the mix. And I guarantee after 3 songs, it just all sounds the same. Somehow it manages to lose your attention, and it shouldn't do. And I think they were aware of that. And that probably explains why they did throw a few unorthodox moves into that song. I don't think these are as strange as some of the other bands that we've covered from Japan, you know, like that one we like, Maximum the Hormone. Yeah. They're fucking out there, aren't they? They're all over the place.
When we say strange, it's strange as far as for Western culture, as far as when we compare it to like Western music. Obviously, in Japan, this is not classed as strange at all. This is just fairly much the standard within their genres.
To me, I mean, we are familiar with music like this, aren't we? Because of Mr. Bungle and artists like that. So I am, you know, where you're trying to piece together disparate genres that would not normally have any congruence if you put them in the same mix. So I understand what they're doing. This one was a straight up arena rock metalcore song, wasn't it? With a lot of symphonic keyboards and I did like the drums. I didn't really pick up how busy they were, you know, with the tom drum rolls at the end of every bar. The guitar player looked completely disinterested, didn't she? I same thing. I thought, have you just brought in a mannequin to hold an instrument? She's not doing anything. I'd like to listen to one more song of these from that album, the 2014 album, because then I'd be able to assess whether I can listen to the whole LP. But yeah, there's a lot to unpick there, so they're doing something right. I don't think there was anything bland about that song. It's just too much going on. Guitars weren't loud enough, and I don't like that overproduced metalcore intensity. I prefer the raw metalcore, you know, that preceded it in America in the late 90s.
Do you know what? You also find out when bands play live, they all tend to play faster than they do on their album. So fuck knows how fast they're going to play that song live, because that's the sort of thing you'd expect to hear them play live like that. And actually on the album it'd be like 10-15% slower. But Bloodstained Child and Last Stardust. Now if you like this video, please do like, share and subscribe, and we'll see you on another video sometime very soon. Take care.